Kenpo karate is a modern progressive self-defense art developed in post-World War II Hawaii by Professor William Chow along with James Matosi. Edmund Kealoha Parker brought Kenpo karate to the United States mainland in 1954. He opened the first commercial karate school in the United States in 1956. A lot of people know his system as the Parker system. He preferred to call it American Kenpo. Mr. Parker, from the time he started teaching here in the United States until his death in 1990, was constantly updating and upgrading the system. So that explains some of the variation you see among American Kenpo stylists. The three techniques demonstrated here are a sample of street Kenpo. Kenpo is an art which employs linear and circular movements which flow with continuity and focus. It's a balanced art form with a scientific base. We teach concepts and principles of motion which can be applied for self-defense. Kenpo is not sport karate, although there are sport elements to it. We will be using free sparring as a means to present how the American Kenpo stylist analyzes fighting. In Kenpo, we analyze all the possibilities, then each individual applies the techniques that work best for them based upon their own skill level and their personal preference. Sparring sessions can involve 3 levels of contact, multiple weapon target variations, 3 ranges of impact, 2 body alignments, 4 major hand postures, 2 different attitudes, plus unlimited combinations, variations, and strategies. What we do is to analyze these concepts and principles, then put them to work during free sparring. Before participating in any sparring sessions or competitions, you need agreement on 3 things. 1, you need to know the level of contact. The levels of contact are no contact, semi-contact, or full contact. No contact obviously means you don't touch your targets. Semi-contact means that you are allowed to touch your targets, but not with maximum power, although there are degrees to semi-contact. Full contact means you try to hit as hard as you can. Second thing you need to agree on is what targets are available. Is the groin open, the head? Are the legs available? Third thing, weapons available. Is it hands and feet only? Are you going to allow elbows, knees, or is it anything goes? And of course there are variations of these. You could have no contact with elbows, touch contact, semi-contact with the kicks, and full contact with the hands. Or semi-contact to the head, full contact to the body. You just need to agree on these things with your partner. The 3 ranges of impact are 1, contact range. This is where you are touching your partner as in a push, for example, in self-defense techniques. Penetration range. This is when you try to move the target with your punch, kick, whatever. The third one is what we call manipulation range manipulation, or it's commonly referred to as grappling range, where you clinch, lock, hold, or pin your opponent. There are 2 body alignments. We call these closed stance and open stance. The 4 hand postures are both hands up around your temples like a boxer or extended out like a Muay Thai fighter. This is the posture of choice at close range. One of the negatives of this posture, of course, is the groin is easy to get to and not as easy for you to, it's harder for you to protect. Posture number 2, front hand low, rear hand high. This is a popular point fighting posture, especially when the head is not a target because it covers your ribs and groin without much movement. A negative of this posture is that one side of your head is harder to protect. Number 3, front hand high, rear hand low, also popular among many point fighters as well as full contact fighters. From this position, your front hand can hide your rear hand while causing a distraction, and it also provides good defense for your head. Number 4, both hands low. You should have good body movement to go along with this posture. It presents a deceptive trajectory to your opponent's head because the hands are at the outer edge of their downward peripheral vision. Plus, it gives your arms an opportunity to rest. The 2 different attitudes in sparring are what we call lead off and counter. If you initiate the movement, then you are the lead off fighter. If you wait for your opponent to lead off, then you are the counter fighter. Most people do both during the course of a sparring session. And of course, combinations, variations, and strategies are unlimited. An example would be 2 move hand combinations. You have 4 possibilities. 2 moves with the front hand, 2 moves with the rear hand, front hand, rear hand combination, rear hand, front hand combination. Within these combinations, you have numerous variations of body alignment, hand postures, weapon target selection, and of course footwork. You should also begin to develop strategies to create openings on your opponent or to make them think that an opening exists, which you will counter when attempted. Of course, within all of these concepts and principles, there are degrees of execution. When preparing for fighting, it's always good to remember that Ed Parker quote, "Guts and conditioning take over where skill and knowledge leave off."